Some really heart-wrenching questions that must be answered. 15 families in Aliganj are mourning the deaths of their loved ones. 15 lives cut short, not by a natural disaster, but by a man-made death trap. That's right. That's exactly what we're calling it. We have seen this tragedy play out multiple times before, most recently in Delhi. And yet, and this is the horrible part, nothing ever changes. The headlines follow the exact same predictable script. First comes the fire, then the mounting body count, followed closely by the outrage, then the so-called action and the action taken reports. 4 officials have been suspended. 4 people have been arrested, including the building owner. A special investigation team has been asked to submit its report within 7 days. And the state has ordered a fire safety audit of coaching centers across Uttar Pradesh. These are steps, but they're steps we have seen before. And let us first understand what happened in Lucknow's Aliganj area, because the details really matter here. The building that caught fire had been sanctioned a power load of 20 kilowatts. By the time the fire broke out, the actual consumption had climbed to 34 kilowatts. And that is nearly double what the structure was ever cleared for. Investigators believe that the fire started in the air conditioning system, which is consistent with severe electrical overloading. And once the fire took hold, there was almost nothing to slow it down. The building had no proper fire exits. There were no adequate escape routes. Commercial activities were running inside without any fire separation between them. And for the people trapped inside, many of them young students, there was simply nowhere to go. This is not an isolated incident. We've covered the same again, time and again here on News9. Just weeks ago in Delhi, a hotel licensed to operate just 6 rooms was running more than 25. Both buildings shared the same fatal flaws: inadequate escape routes, illegal structural modifications, and unchecked electrical overloading. In both these cases, smoke and suffocation killed the victims long before the actual flames did. And the pattern here is not a coincidence either. It is a system. Illegal building conversions happen across the country and are routinely looked the other way. Fire NOCs, the certificates that are supposed to guarantee safety, are issued without any guarantee that the conditions on paper actually exist on the ground as well. Electrical overloading is widespread and almost never caught until something goes wrong. This time it's gone horribly wrong. Inspections, when they happen and at all, miss the violations that should be visible to anyone who walks through the door. And action, real action we mean, comes only after a tragedy gives authorities no choice but to respond. What makes this worse than what it already is that the failures rarely happen by accident. There is a network at work here. Builders who cut corners, engineers who sign off on what they know is unsafe, and government officials who look away in exchange for what does not need to be said out loud. This builder-engineer Babu nexus is now under fresh scrutiny after the Lucknow fire. But scrutiny alone has not broken this chain before. It's not clear why this time is going to be any different. Coaching centers and hotels have emerged as 2 of the most dangerous categories of buildings in India right now. They're often housed in structures that were never designed for the activity inside them. They are densely packed. They attract people who have no idea what the building they are entering actually looks like on paper. And because they operate in a grey zone between commercial and residential use, oversight tends to fall through the cracks between different government departments. Some important questions that need to be answered, and we're asking them tonight on the show. Can a 7-day SIT report actually lead to accountability? Or is it just a way to manage the news cycle after a tragedy? What role does the builder-engineer official relationship, what role does this nexus play in allowing violations to go unchecked for years? With us on the broadcast, Dr. Sudhir Krishna, former Urban Secretary, Government of India, and Chairman, Smart Cities Technical Committee, BIS. Many thanks for taking out the time again, sir. It's yet another fire, and many thanks for taking out the time to help us put this into perspective. We also will have the former Director of the Delhi Fire Services with us to help put this entire episode into perspective. And I can see Mr. A.K. Jain, former DGP Uttar Pradesh, with us on the broadcast as well. Dr. Krishna, first and foremost, every major fire that we spoke about, it was the AC blast that we took up last time around when you were with us here on In Your Interest. This time around, it seems it's because of the overloading on the air conditioners, but this building paints a different picture. The one in Hausrani, the Malviya Nagar hotel, paints a different picture, but it ends with the same script. FIRs, suspensions, action taken reports, compensation. But what really happens? Why should everyday citizens believe that this time accountability will go beyond the building owner and actually reach the officials who have enabled this violation? Who is going to set the example? It is so gut-wrenching. Look at the amount of people who are crying. 15 lives cut short just because of a death trap that man himself had made.
Well, I think it all depends on how serious government takes it. Because this particular case, I'm sure SIT report will give the findings and it will be a reasonable finding. They will find the truth because all the matters are on record. So that's it. But the bigger issue is, the larger issue is that there are multiple such cases all over the country. I mean, that issue has to be resolved because we can't be putting SIT case by case, This is another case may happen tomorrow, a third may happen. It is happening as you yourself recalled. So this is all right. One case has happened, it must be taken to logical end. But we have to see that the residential areas are being converted for commercial use in a rampant manner.
Yep.
All over the country, every city. In Delhi, you see the Lajpat Nagar area or South Extension. In the 1950s, they were developed as residential areas with neighborhood markets. Those neighborhood markets have become the city markets now. People are coming from all over city to South Extension.
Multi-story shopping marts, multi-story shopping complexes.
Yes, and you see the whole system, the staircases are not designed for that. They were designed 2-story buildings with a nominal staircase. Family can go up and down. Now, entire, commercial activity is going up and down. It is not designed for that. Likewise, the streets, the parking system, car parking system, all that. So therefore, I think a time has come now. We can't wait. I mean, I am talking about the main part of Delhi. You go to Lal Dora, situation will be worse actually.
Yeah.
Because Lal Dora villages, there is no law at all. And therefore, you can do anything you like. So I think, urbanization is inevitable. We have to get more people to the cities, but the cities have to be prepared to receive more people. We cannot push people back to villages. They have to come to cities. But cities, we have to groom the cities, law and order, the order of management of cities has to improve. I think this case requires suspension of junior engineer and engineer, I think is not enough. Some more senior officer has to be taken to task. Then only people will wake up. Otherwise, the people, if it is this isolated case, all right, suspending engineer is okay. But if it is rampant in the whole city and one case has got attention, so you only take action against that case, which means we are waiting for one after other.
That's right.
Yes.
You're absolutely right, Dr. Krishna. I think you painted the picture, and it is a grim picture, and it rightly has to be one because it's case after case. Officer Jain, how do you look at this, sir? What's your assessment? In Lucknow, officials approved or ignored a building drawing 34 kilowatt against a sanctioned 20 kilowatt. In Delhi, a hotel that was licensed for 6 rooms was running 25 rooms. And throw some light, because these are clearly not isolated failures. This is a systemic builder Babu nexus. And we need an example. We need some sort of punitive measure here. Otherwise, we're going to constantly be losing lives. Like Dr. Krishna said, nobody can say no to urbanization. But those same complexes that were built as residential complexes back in the day are rampantly being turned into commercial prospects and commercial markets. And, you're sitting on a time bomb.
The problem is that all the landowners, building owners, they are just out to make money. And money should come in any form. They violate all possible rules, all possible regulations. They bribe officials, but they continue with such structures. That's the main problem. We, by and large, we are corrupt people. And we don't want to function according to rules and regulations. Number 2, this building, this was a residential area, converted into commercial area.
Yeah.
Demolition was ordered in 2016. June, July, it was regularized. Who regularized it? File should be seen, and I think all those people should be held accountable, because only on that report electrical safety people have they have sanctioned the load. NOC was not obtained from the police, from the fire department, and functional certificate was given by Lucknow Development Authority people. When I was in service, I retired in 2015. Then several buildings used to get functional certificate without getting NOC from fire. Then there were few very serious incidents of fire in the country, and then it was made mandatory that fire NOC should be there. In this case, I don't think any NOC was issued. There might be complicity of fire service. I don't disagree. But in this case, can you imagine? And if fire service people had visited the site, they would have never issued NOC, because there is a very narrow stair, single stair going upwards.
Yeah.
No person in his senses will give NOC for such a building. So naturally, he would have to make provision for another staircase, third staircase for evacuation, and all this facade which is there of glass. These are all balconies which have been converted into aesthetic value, and glass has
That's
been
correct.
put
That's
there.
correct, sir.
Yeah, all the balconies in residential areas also in RWAs, they all cover balconies. And whenever there is fire people have to
Officer
face
Jain,
lot of
I think you made a very important point, and I want to circle back to that point. You said if the fire safety officer visits one of these buildings, he would have never, or they would have never issued an NOC for this particular building. Why is it?
They are not-
that the
not-
fire safety officer doesn't visit this building? Why is it that they're never around these buildings where these accidents take place? Is it because the money makes the world go around, or is it because this entire
See, that
nexus
is
is making
that
sure
is
that the
also
fire
there.
safety officer doesn't land up on our doorstep?
That is also there, but he has not been asked to inspect the building. He should be asked to inspect each and every building in his area. And I tell you, in Aliganj area, there are hundreds of such coaching centers. It's a mini quota.
Yeah.
And lakhs of students are studying in this area, and none of the buildings they are completing the norms. They are completing the rules and regulations. They are not meant to cater to thousands of students. And this is not only here, in all the major towns of UP, this problem is there.
It's horrible.
Now
It's horrible. It's horrible. The statistics
you are
that you
absolutely
put
correct.
out, it's absolutely horrible. It's absolutely shameful. Dr. Krishna, I mean, then what is this really about? Where is the punishment is one question. And the second question is whether this is about governance, or is this about enforcement, or is this about both of these aspects being equally lackadaisical?
Well, definitely the governance is a big challenge now. I mean, we are reaching a situation where over time government is becoming stronger, but governance is becoming weaker. There is a big paradox now. And people are doing with impunity whatever they want to do, and ultimately everything gets regularized. You see, as Mr. Jain mentioned, balcony coverage is one of the reasons why the fire services people are not able to reach, at least in low-rise apartment, they are not able to reach for rescue operations because the grilled balcony. You have seen the case also earlier, just a few weeks before.
Yeah.
And so that is a governance challenge. But also, there is an issue of urban planning also. Which, I mean, in this case, I cannot say that we should go for planning. As far as plan is concerned, it is fine, and only enforcement was wrong. But, the planning system requires residential area to remain residential, and commercial activity should be put in a commercial complex area called the business district. This should be business district where commercial activity should be there, but connected through mass transit systems like metro rail, buses, and good walkways for last mile connectivity, cycleways for last mile, so that people do. And now the thing is, we don't have good district centers. As a result, here and there, people have to now go for shopping, and the shops become bigger. So there is an overall chaotic situation in the planning system also. I mean, it is somewhere looming on the horizon. Not that it is the cause of this directly. Directly, it is the cause is the misgovernance or poor governance. That is true. So I think it is high time that, and it's not the case of Delhi only. I can tell you, even in Bangalore, Even in Bangalore, residential areas have been converted to commercial, just like South Extension converted in Delhi. Any city you take, examples are there. So I think it is very high time. People have sacrificed their life. I take that the 15 people have sacrificed their life. We should take note of that. And the compensation is not at all anything. The real compensation will be if we take a leaf out of this and improve the cities for the future generation at least.
You're absolutely right, Dr. Krishna. And you speak about the sacrifice. In front of my eyes, I can see the wailing images of those family members that have lost their loved ones. People were running helter-skelter to this particular building. And what's even sad is there was a pet shop right on the ground floor that was functioning. So many of those animals that got injured, the voiceless, got injured because of this death trap that the humans created themselves. So it's high time, like you suggested. We also have with us Mr. R.C. Sharma, former director, the DFS, the Delhi Fire Services. Many thanks, Mr. Sharma, for taking out the time. Sir, from a fire officer's perspective, we've spoken about what exactly went wrong and, of course, the systemic loopholes that are being overlooked just so that the capitalist reflex can get its way around and people can earn more money. Looking purely at this Lucknow site, and we've got these visuals playing out, I'm sure you've taken a look at them as well. What exactly killed these students? There are people saying that it was the AC overload, then the flames. Many are saying even before the flames reached the students or the people, the smoke that they inhaled, the carbon monoxide that they inhaled was the reason that they killed them. How much of this tragedy was preventable from the views of this building that you're seeing that is left completely gutted, basic fire safety measures missing?
Okay, well, when we talk about the fire safety angle, from my view, see, it is the building design which plays an important role in such cases. If the building is designed in a manner so that if there is a fire, it will not spread to whole of the building, or at least the smoke will not spread to whole of the building, or else we have to create arrangements for letting out the smoke by say smoke vents or something like that. These are the built-in features which are required to be known to the architects basically. Owner of the building, if they suggest only make like this, that's a different issue. But otherwise, if the architects are involved, I think they should have the basic arrangement, basic understanding about the fire, how it is going to kill. And we have seen that in most of the cases, 95% people, rather maybe more than that, they are killed by smoke, not by fire. That means smoke is created by a fire, of course, anywhere it will be there. But if it is inside a building, like you take any example, it was a MRI hospital, Calcutta, again we quote every time, basement, fire was in a basement, smoke traveled to upper floors and caused a problem for everybody inside and 93 people lost their life. This is a small building, single staircase, fire happening anywhere. If we do not have any built-in facilities for means of escape for the people, alternate staircase is a must for a building like this, where more than, hundreds of students are studying there. A residential building is okay. You need one staircase, maybe one single 1 meter or 1.25 meter. But a requirement for a place like education center or coaching center or a hospital or maybe like assembly building in that sense, you need at least 1.5 meters.
That's a credible point, Mr. Sharma.
And alternate arrangements as well.
How common is it for coaching centers? You spoke about coaching centers. How common is it for coaching centers, for hotels, for these commercial establishments to operate without the adequate exits, to operate without the adequate alarms or the fire compartmentalization? From your own experience, what's the verdict here?
Here it is not safe at all. See, the thing is, if the built-in facilities are not there, how we are going to save people's life? If something happens, then we are bound to get trapped over there and they cannot come out. Fire brigade take a lot of time because you call them. By the time they start from there is a distance involved, traffic involved, and 5-10 minutes will make huge difference in this.
Yeah.
It is only built-in. When we talk about the life safety, see, I have got more than 50 years of experience in operational duties. I have seen that if the built-in facilities are available in a building, we can think of saving the life. If that is not there, that is missing, or that is a situation where smoke is going to be trapped and people will be trapped, then we have got no other way except that losing the life. So this is the built-in facilities which are required. Firefighting facilities are secondary. Primary requirement is the built-in facilities and smoke venting facilities, so people get little more time to get out and they can get out of the building if the second staircase is there and they are protected, compartmented properly. This is the most important requirement.
DGP Jain, you see, I still feel that the real story here is not the fire itself. Of course, it's I again and again am going to the same visuals that it's shameful how we've lost these lives. Dr. Krishna is of the opinion that, and there is a silver lining here, that they've sacrificed their lives for us to learn a very crucial and a very important lesson. But the real story, it seems, is the ecosystem that allows the illegal buildings to flourish for years despite visible violations. How do we really fix this? How do we really nip this in the bud? What really needs to happen now?
In my opinion, criminal liability should be, culpability should be there. They should be made accused in the case. I have been saying since yesterday that such officers should also be challan, not only departmental action, not only suspensions. They should be made accused in the case, because they have been instrumental. If this offense has been carried out, whosoever is instrumental should be made an accused in the case. Once you start doing it, once you start sending these people to jail, everything will start improving. And until the time you don't do it, these actions will continue, suspensions, they will
criminal culpability, criminal negligence. And call a spade a spade. I mean, you can't paint this otherwise. This is clear-cut murder that's actually happened over there.
Yes.
Dr. Krishna, you see, talking about urban planning here as well, I mean, that's your domain of expertise. Let's bring in technology here, shall we, Dr. Krishna? Can technology eliminate discretion from approvals through, let's say, digital permits? But when digital permits come into the picture, the speed with which these fake permits are being given out, that will also increase. I mean, I'm talking about real-time load monitoring that can happen. Maybe a high footfall building, just like this one, can have a publicly visible safety rating, just like we have for the food hygiene systems. Maybe we can start having that here.
Yes, absolutely. And you are right on both counts. I endorse what you are saying, is that technology has to be deployed. Because while we are right in blaming that officials do not inspect, did not inspect, but you look at the officials' strength also, any department for that matter, because of the poor strength and workload is so much that they are not able to do justice to anything. And because if they go on inspecting one or two buildings, then it will lead to hue and cry that why you are picking and choosing one only and not others. So technology will come to the rescue. And for example, the electricity department, the DISCOM, they have got the list of commercial buildings, so one would know that where the residential buildings are being used for commercial purposes. Then we have got the government program like Naksha, drone mapping is there. All those things are already in position. With that, we can make out straight away. So that is one. And your suggestion of putting all the information in public domain is also important, because this is called social audit. Because the government is not able to conduct audit for want of manpower, and it is also an option to.
Why do you think we don't have it, Dr. Krishna? I mean, if all of this is available in the public domain, I mean, these kind of tools that can be used, is it because of the fact, and I'm thinking from the top of my head, because it costs a lot of money and people are trying to make money, save money, it requires a lot of money to carry these audits out? Is that so?
No. See, technology has reduced the cost like unimaginably. The cost has come down to a fraction of what the human cost will be there. So it is just a question of willpower. You see, what is happening is that the bureaucracy, the system is losing the grip over governance. And the attachment that it is my city, I have to manage my city, that feeling is people are losing, So they are just becoming subservient to situations. I think it is high time that I would say, I hope your channel is being seen by municipal commissioners also, at least some. They must resolve that they will undertake a safety audit of all the misuse of the buildings, change of land, unauthorized change of use, and then you conduct. It is not difficult at all. It's a willpower is required, and I'm sure there are brilliant people also in the bureaucracy. There are brilliant people. You see the civil service examination. The top people of this country have two routes: either go abroad or join the civil services. There is no third route here for brilliant people to do what meet their expectation in life. So brilliant people are there in government.
I'm not saying that everybody becomes part of the same lackadaisical and lazy cogwheel, sir. That's absolutely not the point. I'm sure. I mean, we're 1.5 billion strong. We have massive and a plethora of brilliant minds out there. It's just that sometimes, and we've seen it time and again, and I only say it because we've seen those cases, that willpower that you're speaking about sometimes comes a little bit short in front of this Babu Builder nexus that we're constantly throwing light on, and that is a major problem. I hope that what you're saying with all the municipal leaders that are watching this can bring this about. I'm coming to you, Fire Officer Sharma. You see, I have this case, I have this new input. It's coming from Lucknow, and I wanted your assessment of this. Suspended FSSO Kamlendra Singh has written a letter to Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath regarding this entire incident. He's termed the action taken against a low-ranking official as unjust, noting that his own scope of work is limited. He stated that the CFO holds all the authority and should be held accountable. The CFO issues the NOC. The CFO is responsible for the delay in the fire brigade's arrival and has requested a reconsideration of the action taken against him. And we've been discussing how the junior officers are often made the scapegoat. You'll have to unmute yourself, Officer Sharma.
Yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
the thing is,
Yeah.
There are two things in this, that who is going to check and who is going to be made a scapegoat or taken to task. But one thing is there. See, we were having in Delhi about about 8 to 10,000 pandals being put up on Ram Leela days, Dashera and probably Durga Puja. And the thing was coming just a day before that. Pandal was put up overnight, and then we were made to inspect everything. If you find shortcomings, you can't do anything. You give them shortcomings by the time 2 days are over. So what was done is, it was made a self-regulating mechanism. We have circulated the guidelines for the size of pandal, how much they have to do, what safety measure they have to take, what they have to provide. And then they themselves certify these, that these are the facilities provided, number of means of escape, size of gates and firefighting facilities. They will display it outside the pandal. So they were made to certify these things on their own, so that they provided this and they will certify that. Anybody, visitors or even the fire brigade people, somebody can go and have a look. No, something like that. The norms are not very, hidden somewhere. They are in the public domain. So the people who are running a coaching center or school or whatever it is, they know what is the requirement for that. So why not they certify themselves before they do this? We are waiting for fire brigade or commercial MCD and all that. Well, there is a procedure, there is a rule regulation that is to be followed, no doubt. But when it comes to who is responsible for this, is it not the owner of the such a facility who should certify that these things are provided by him before he is running this?
Yeah.
Why we wait for somebody else to do it for them?
I'm coming back to my earlier question here, Mr. Sharma. How common is it, in your own expertise, how common is it for coaching centers and these hotels to operate without the adequate clearances, the adequate exits? From your own experience, help us understand. How many of these coaching hubs, because Aliganj, like, DGP Jain told us, is just like a quota that's operating in Lucknow. So you have so many students that are coming there.
I will tell you that the hotels and guest houses, they are in old Delhi, they are running with a single staircase of 70 centimeters. But these are going on from very ages, because there was no rules and regulation. These people went to the court, and even the government allowed them to function in that same situation, because it is not possible to really provide the maybe access and maybe streets and roads and all that. So that was a permission given to them. But thing is, they have got a very limited number of rooms and all that, not very huge number of people staying there. So like that, some decision is to be taken up to what you can allow, and beyond which it is necessary to follow the guidelines. And then it is mandatory for everybody. Things are allowed to go on without checking or without following the norms. Then why to blame somebody? We are allowing it, means rules are there, then we should check them. We should not allow these things to happen.
Sir, you're talking about a 70-centimeter staircase. For those that are entering this building, many of them don't even know what kind of a death trap they're actually walking into. Maybe Dr. Krishna's, expertise is not available with everybody. Not everybody is as well versed as DGP Jain as well. For all the viewers that are watching this, some common red flags that people should be on the lookout for. Can you pinpoint some of those, Sharma ji? Mr. Sharma. Officer Sharma, can you hear us? Archie Sharma ji.
Is something for me?
Yeah. I'm trying to understand if you can help the viewers understand the 3 or the 4 biggest red flags that they can note down when they're entering a building.
Well, one thing is there, it's a alternate staircase. When we go to a hotel, even a 5-star hotel, when we go and check in a hotel and we go into the room, probably maybe 20-story, 30-story, and you get into the room, we should find out that where is the second means of escape or the first means of escape nearer to me. So once we should get into the room, keep our luggage and see the chart over there, which is behind every door.
Yeah.
Look out that where are they location, and then they should go out of the room and find the where is it on the right side or left side, on the opposite side or toward my room side, so that you know that in case of emergency, if I have to go, then I'll be able to go rightly along the direction and probably nearby same place where I have to go and find a staircase. If we are trying to look at it when something goes wrong, then it is not feasible. So first thing is knowing about the means of escape. But in a case where you have got a single means of escape, there is nothing else available, then it's a problem.
All right.
Then thing is alternately, the door and the terrace door should be open at least, so that people can go there, they can breathe and they will not be suffocated. So things like that are to be seen by all of us, that if there is a problem in this situation.
That's a good
if
point.
there is
Every
a
time
fire
you
at
go
lower
into a
level-
luxury hotel, you're more busy checking out the view and what is the view from the balcony. I think that's also important, but one must check the chart that's mentioned right behind the door. From your
Yes.
expertise as well, final 30 seconds, Dr. Krishna, would you like to add to some of those points?
Well, I think suggestions are good, but I would think that people should also cooperate with government and understand that, let us not, our tendency is to violate the rules. Whether it is traffic signal or whether any rule is there, extend the balcony, close the balcony. We should also develop a culture of following the rules. Otherwise, depending on whip or the check by the penalty, fear of penalty should not. I think from school also we should start teaching the school children onwards that, we should follow the rules.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way. Otherwise, depending on government, as we have seen over the years, as I said in the beginning only, strong government, weak governance, that is the order of the day. It is going progressively, it is happening like that only. So unless people participate in the governance process with their heart, it becomes a challenge.
Yeah, yeah. I've run out of time here, gentlemen, but I think we've hit the nail on the head on some very important points, which is that the residential will turn into the commercial because urbanization is rampant. But amidst this governance versus enforcement debate, where really is the punishment? And let's call a spade a spade. This is criminal negligence, just like DGP Jain said. So many thanks, Dr. Krishna, DGP Jain. Mr. Sharma, many thanks for taking on the time and helping us understand this story and put this into perspective. It's again shameful and horrific that we've lost 15 lives, and let's hope that this time we've maybe learned a lesson. Lucknow today, Delhi yesterday, Kolkata, just like the example that was cited, Surat before that. At what point do we stop calling these accidents and start calling them institutional murders enabled by corruption and by negligence, this builder-babu nexus? That's the question that we're going to leave you with.